Hello, creative fam. I made another wall decor piece I want to share with you guys. I found this picture last week when I decided I wanted to recreate it, and right before I posted this video, I checked Wayfair, and sure enough, they have something similar. Theirs is totally silver, and the one that I followed is trimmed in black. I don't really know which one I like more. Probably the silver one, but they're both very beautiful. Wall decor is what I really need to be making right now, so I'll be able to, decorate our walls when we get our home. For this project, you will need 3 wire wreaths from Dollar Tree, and like last week, I used side cutter pliers to snip the wire. Regular pliers won't cut next to the places where the wires cross. I bought this pair at Walmart for $10, and it's made by Stanley. If you don't know, you get a lifetime warranty with their tools. They also have like a smaller pair that'll do the job. I think it was like $4.48. I wanted the heavier duty pair just to add to my tools. Something I figured out doing this for 2 weeks is if I set my wreath in over like a bowl, this will keep the wire snips from like flying all over the room and make cleaning up so much easier. Another thing is when you're cutting this wire, cut the brace off the rings. You can do that all at one time, and this will save you a lot of time and work. Once I have all the braces cut off, I start cutting my rings. Now you can make these as short or as long as you want. I didn't know exactly how this was going to look, so I cut, some pretty short, as short as 6 inches, and some as long as 12 inches. Next, I lay my longest wires going clockwise around the mirror. Once I'm happy with the placement of all my wires, I trace and cut out a cardboard template of a round mirror from Dollar Tree, and I glue my wires into place with a good amount of hot glue. I gave the hot glue about 30 minutes to an hour to dry so it wouldn't have any chance of having play or any kind of movement when I go to, move this around and start adding to it. With my shorter wire pieces, I glue those to the big wires in the same direction, making the short wires, blend like it's all one piece. You kind of want this to look like a fork in the road. You want it to look like it's kind of flowing together or like it splits into two places at the top and towards the bottom when forming this design. I add the short wire to the tops of the main wire, and I go around another time closer to the bottom. So there's 2 sets. Once I'm happy with how that looks, then I start gluing everything together and into place with a thick drop of hot glue everywhere that the wires cross or meet each other. After you have everything hot glued together and the glue dries, flip it over and add epoxy glue everywhere the wires cross all over the back and allow that to sit for several hours. I waited till the next day to move this after I added the epoxy glue, and then I flipped it back over the next day and I made sure all the wires are secure and the glue was holding. So I take it outside and I spray paint it black, and all I had was this flat paint. I really wasn't happy with the finished look of this, so I dusted over this with some acrylic paint. It was champagne and it has some fine glitter. This is just to add a little texture and to give it a shine. I changed my mind about the round mirror that I had picked out for the center. I went with a bigger mirror from Dollar Tree, and you can find this one on the aisle next to the hairbrushes. They have suction cups on the back of them, and usually they're in a pretty bright casing. Now I'm ready for my small mirrors. You can either buy some small round craft mirrors from a store like Hobby Lobby, or you can get some of these. I got these at Walmart in the sewing section, and they have tiny little holes in them for thread. On the package, these will say sequins, and they come in 2 sizes. There is hundreds of them in a pack. I don't recall exactly how many are in a pack. I've had these for well over a year. But I do know that they cost about $3 or $4. You can bend these, they're flexible, but they do have the perfect mirror reflection. And if you want to, you can double up, like glue a couple of them together if you want to make them stiff. If you use these, you can't use hot glue with these because, they'll melt, and they'll also turn the mirror finish foggy. So I used epoxy glue. I noticed 3 different mini mirrors in the design that I was trying to recreate. So what I did was I just mixed everything up. I used the small craft mirrors, and I have 2 sizes in that. I have the half inch and an inch, and I used the sequences. More of the sequences than anything. After those were all glued into place, then I painted the casing for my mirror. I should have removed the suction cups before I started painting. You'll have to cut those out, by the way. So I just started out and I spray painted it silver, the casing silver, but I really didn't like that too much. So, like in the picture, I ended up going black and I just used acrylic paint and a paintbrush. So I glued my mirror casing to the cardboard with epoxy and hot glue. Then I added another piece of cardboard on the back. The bigger I can get the diameter of the cardboard, the more sturdy this becomes as a whole. So I cut a piece of cardboard out to be a little bit closer to the size of the mirror that I did go with. And then I glued that bigger cardboard onto the back. Now, all you need to do is figure out how you want to hang this on the wall. You can use command strips, or like last time, I used a can tab. I bent it back with some pliers and I added a generous amount of hot glue. I allowed that to sit for several hours before I hung it on the wall, and this project is finished.